Do that.
Higher pay for teachers. The governor wants $1 billion more to pay teachers more, but teachers' unions are skeptical. The union presidents from Broward and Miami-Dade are with us live.
This week, Governor Ron DeSantis unveiled the $91 billion budget he'll be taking to lawmakers. The education component includes raising minimum salaries for teachers to $47,500 a year.
101,000 current teachers that will see a raise, and I think that that's something that will have a really meaningful impact in terms of recruiting and retaining folks. I think we're doing all this great stuff with our state universities. I'd like to expand the pool of college graduates who would consider teaching.
The governor has a lot of political capital and he intends to spend some on teacher pay raises, but critics question where would that money come from? Also, the fairness of raising pay for new teachers while perhaps shortchanging classroom veterans. All this to be decided by a legislature that has favored charter schools over traditional schools.
Those on the front lines are here to weigh in. Karla Hernandez-Matts is president of the United Teachers of Dade. Anna Fusco is the president of the Broward Teachers Union. Collectively, these women represent tens of thousands of teachers and other employees in South Florida. Welcome. Good morning.
Great,
Good morning.
Great to have you both here. All right, I want both of you to weigh in, but Karla, let me ask you. Here is the governor saying $1 billion more in addition to other millions for teachers so that the beginning teachers can earn $47,500 a year, which would certainly move Florida up in teacher pay, long overdue. But you have misgivings. What are your misgivings?
Well, we don't really know where this money is going to come from. You know, we are almost $1 trillion economy, the state of Florida, and we're talking about almost $1 billion, and we're still in the bottom when we talk about per pupil spending. We also have a senator who's the head of the K-12 appropriations who has bills that are going to take away funding from public schools. So we're not sure if he even has the support from his lawmakers, if they've had this conversation.
You are referring to Senator Manny Diaz of Hialeah?
That's correct.
All right, well, we'll invite him on to get his side of the story on that. But Anna Fusco, give us your take on this. What are your misgivings?
Well, the misgivings are that even though we know we have a need for more pay for our teachers and to have our colleges have more college graduates in the education field, $47,500 is a beautiful start salary, but you cannot forget all of the veteran teachers that have been in the system for 10, 15, 20, 25 years that are only within a few $1,000s of that start salary.
You know what's, I pulled some averages. There's averages given by a number of different organizations. I kind of compiled some. The National Center for Education Statistics say the average national salary for a teacher is almost $59,000 a year. Pay scale puts it at 49. Glassdoor puts it at 47. So these a minimum salary of 47.5 puts it almost in the national average. To your point, it's a minimum salary, not for all veteran teachers. Karla, what's the number? I want to hear a teacher say, this is my worth, this is my salary, this would make me happy. What is that number?
That's a tough question because the work that teachers do is immeasurable, you know, and it comes. We have children that, you know, thank us for the work that we do when we see them long after they've come from school.
But what is it? Is it 50 a year? You're a 25-year veteran teacher. Is it 100? What's the number? What is that?
Look, I think that this conversation is really important and really good because it should be $47,000 to start. But we can't cap it at that and not say that we're not going to help the veteran teachers, which is to Anna's point.
You're not going to tell me a number, are you?
I'm not going to tell you a number.
You have a number?
I'm not going to box you in.
Well, I mean, our veteran teachers, they look at some of our teachers throughout the other states where they're making $80,000, $90,000 after putting in 20 years. They definitely feel that they should be way over the $75,000 mark after they put in 20 years.
And when we think about South Florida and how expensive the cost of living is here, that should also be accounted for as well.
Karla, state economists say that they think there's going to be $1 billion in new tax revenue coming in. So let's just assume for the moment that there would be enough money to do this, to raise teachers' salary. But what about the point that Lana raised? What about a teacher who's been there in the system 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, and is really underpaid? Does the governor's plan account for their experience and pay them additional?
It doesn't. Right now we see a governor's plan that has a lot of holes in it. And so that's why we need to continue to have these conversations. We need to make sure that it is fully vetted. We believe that all teachers deserve a raise, not just beginning teachers, especially our veterans that have been in the system and have sacrificed and served our children and our community for so long.
The governor's plan really is the first time in recent memory, and correct me if I'm wrong, that puts a lot of money. It is a minimum salary. He's raising the minimum. I think he acknowledged that it is a minimum, it is a start. The last contracts for both Broward and Dade, again, correct me if I'm wrong, gave a 2% cost of living raise. Is that correct? Right. Which is essentially not a lot, and teacher salaries, when you adjust for cost of living, are actually lower than they were a couple of decades ago. Here's my question. The unions, you help decide that. You sign off on that contract. Why?
But we sit down at the table and we negotiate from the district's budget what they have allocated for salaries and salary increases, and we always push to get the most that we can of, at least the cost of living, or if not more. And that's what actually Governor DeSantis made clear in his press conference when he was here in Broward about a month ago with these veteran teachers. Keep it at the table, which we want it all kept at the table. Fund the budget.
And and the problem is that this funding comes from the state. And when the state has underfunded us for 2 decades now, you see that we rank in the bottom when we talk about per pupil spending.
But what's confusing is it's a district decision. The money comes, of course, from the state, but the district can
absolutely
change the calculations and put money in different pots.
But when 2 years ago we only got 47 cents from the state, how do you turn 47 cents into anything other than a percentage?
Well, I think that's a good question for the district to answer, right?
It's actually a better question for the state. Why are they underfunding us?
Yeah. Anna, let me go back to sort of a question about paying a fair salary to all kinds of people, because it's just not teachers. Obviously, you have media specialists, you've got art and music teachers, people who move from classroom to classroom or are running libraries. What about them? How are they being paid?
Well, they're all included in our bargaining unit in Broward County Public Schools. If you are a certified teacher, Broward County Public Schools considers you a teacher.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
can they get a bonus? I mean, I know teachers in classrooms that show improvement under the old program could get a bonus.
If we're relating to the Best and Brightest program,
Yes.
Unfortunately, they have left out many teachers. Our pre-K teachers that are working with students but aren't classified as a classroom teacher, where I'm in a classroom with my 20 desks, my whiteboard, and so forth. They don't consider them in those bonuses, which we were asking that in actually putting in a demand, everybody should be included if you're a certified teacher.
Right.
And to Anna's point, it's more than just the educators, that are in the classroom that are doing incredible work in our school systems. And so if we're going to talk about public education and making it strong and making it the best in the nation, let's be inclusive of everybody and everything that happens in our public schools.
So are you okay with the thought of a bonus, not in lieu of a salary raise, but as an incentive? Is a bonus program a good thing?
That's what they've been doing for the last 10 years, and it hasn't worked. So I believe that teachers deserve a raise, just like everybody else in every other profession deserves a real substantial base salary raise, and then we can talk about bonuses.
Let me change the focus in the minute or so we have left and ask you, what do you think, what do your teachers think about the program on Friday? The Miami-Dade County School Board said, let's consider beginning classes, elementary schools, no sooner than 8 a.m. and then later for middle school and high school. What do you think?
Look, I think it's something that we're definitely looking into. We're collaborating with the district, trying to figure out, what the research indicates. The fact of the matter is that our schedules are over 100 years old. Our school system was based on agricultural needs when school started. And so what's going to be better for children, for them to learn to minimize those achievement gaps, and what's going to be good for the community? It's going to be a long conversation. It's going to be tough, but we're willing to have it to see what's good for everybody.
But why is it a long conversation? Sleeping late is a good thing. Why? What is the complication there?
Sure, but you might have parents that need to get up early and go to work.
Okay, and so reconfigure everyone's lifestyle.
Your Miami traffic.
That's right.
Miami traffic is 24 hours a day. That is.
Okay. Anna Fusco, Karla Hernandez-Matts.
Appreciate it.
Great to have you come in.
Thanks.
And as this goes before the legislature, we'll ask you to come back and sort of give us your take on where it stands then?
Can we throw in real quick, January 13th, we're having a big Red for Ed rally and tally, and educators, community leaders, community parents, everybody that's involved in public schools.
Good.
We're asking everybody to show up. We're expecting 20,000.
Well, local
Have that
10 will be there
conversation.
too.
We will
Thanks
be
so
there.
much.